Evening, peeps. Evening. Everything seems to be coming through okay. How are we all doing tonight? Everyone good, I hope. So, welcome back to the channel. We are live tonight for round 2 of the Team Oliver Racing GT3 League, hosted by Mature Racing Club over there on Facebook. Make sure you get over onto Facebook and click all the like buttons for Team Oliver Racing, Martin Oliver Transport, MRC as well, or Mature Racing Club over there on Facebook. Click all those buttons. So we are live tonight for round 2 of the series. It's 2 different races tonight. We've got a first 15-minute sprint race followed by a 30-minute feature race. Different setup for both races. So race 1, like I say, is a 15-minute sprint. A reverse grid into race 2. They do have to use 2 different compounds of tyre in race 2. It is mandatory, so watch out for that. Again, reverse grid into that. I've got to be quick because they've already started qualifying. Looking at points, RA Philo, which I'm now wondering if that means the real actual Philo, is sitting in first. He's got himself 52 points on the board. RA Gecko, he's second, 40 points. TOR Potomac Pot, lobby host and admin, set up this whole league. 32 points in third position. Oni Kaijin coming in from over the pond, 26 points in fourth. We've got DIA 3SP Mart in fifth with 22 points. TOR Ace Killer 6th with 20 points. Brinky 7th with 18 points. We've got NVR Frozen in 8th with 16 points. DDR Hattalad 9th with 14 points. DDR IT 43 10th with 12 points. WPR Millerman 11th with 10 points. We've got Fat Pickles Bro in 12th with 8 points. D Ridders in 13th with 6 points. I'm Frosty in 14th with 2 points. And ADR X Chris, who I've not seen in the lobby. He wasn't here last week, but might be now. Lobby merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers. Only got smalls and mediums available now. Sorry, but hit me up if you want any of those. So we are into qualifying then. Let's just have a look who is in the room. We have got Gecko, Ace Killer, Potomac Pot, Millerman, Fat Pickles, Mart, Brinky, Ridders, Philo, Frozen. Yeah, I'm Frosty, DIT 43 and Oni Kaijin. So still no X Chris D43 or whatever his name was. Let's get in then. Let's turn the usual nonsense on. So hot laps underway, out laps completed. I've got the chicane on the straight as well. A tricky circuit, Monza. It's a very fast circuit with a lot of three tricky chicanes to manoeuvre through. Let's get on board. Why not with a Gecko racer and do a bit of a lap. I'm sure he's not going to be in already. See if he can put in a good one. He is the first man out on track, so nobody in front of him. So hugging that inside line, trying to scrub as many thousandths of a second off the lap as possible. Carries as much speed, short in this straight. So across the line, down towards turn 1, chicane. Hard on the brakes. Hopefully everyone gets through here cleanly. Unfortunately, we've got these dirty lobbies for you lot to watch. So through the turn 1 and 2 into Curva Grande. Big, long, sweeping right-hander. Heading down towards chicane 2. Hard on the brakes. Again, another tricky one to manoeuvre. You can see quite a wide circuit until it... Oh, a little bit of a wobble there for Gecko. Oh, you lot can't hear it, can you? I always forget that. I was just thinking it's a bit loud in my ear. I wonder how it's for you lot. You lot can't hear it. Now you can. So, through Degner 1 and 2. Down onto Yaskari. Under the bridge. And then into the last of the chicanes. And a tiny bit wide there, Gecko. You've got to be careful. You don't want to pick up penalties here either. Onto this final back straight then up towards Parabolica. Again, another tricky little corner. It's tight on the way and does open up on the way out, but you've got to just be careful you don't run wide on the way out of it. Yeah, glitchy lobbies from spectator view, unfortunately. Not all the drivers see it. Unfortunately, I see it all. Let's just see what Gecko puts in then as he scricks across the line. Throws himself in the pits, alright. Ace Killer also in the pits, but it does look like... oh no, it's Ace Killer with fastest lap so far, 146.7. Sticks himself on pole position in the Nissan. There's that tricky turn from a different angle. That's turn 1 and 2. Again, oh, Potter getting a swerve on through there as well. So Ace Killer leading the way. 146.7. Gecko Racer is not showing his fastest, but he's 1.89, so about 2/10 slower than Ace Killer, which puts him on about a 146.9. Potts third in the BMW. Again, a little way back. Quarter of a second, or he's chucking this lap in, just scrubbing his tyres. Might have been in the pits actually. Oh yes, it's an out lap. Is this the real Philo? He's got himself a 147.2 for fourth on the grid at the minute in the Lexus. Brinky BMW 147.9 for fifth on Ikaijin. Sixth. Again, it's not showing up on screen. He's just a little bit behind, 147.9. So he's about a 148-ish, 148.1 is Oni. Fat Picklesbro is seventh, 148.3, also in the BMW. NVR Frozen. What car are you in? Why won't you let me change view now? Well, now Ridders misses him. Aston in ninth with a 149.3. Gets a drift on through that final chicane. DDR IT43 in the Renault 150.9. Yeah, I'm Frosty has got 12th. 159.2. And Millerman, no hot lap on the board yet. Where is DIA3SP Mark? Did we look at his time? Did he manage to skip by us? No, I think he skipped by us. 147.3 for 3SP Mart. Fifth position on the grid so far. So 15-minute qualifier, 8 minutes in already. Second of the chicanes there for Mart. Philo then sneaks his way into top spot. 146.3 he's got on the board. 4/10 faster than Ace Killer's quickest. A few minutes left to put these laps in still though. Sounding cars, the GT3 class. Let's just see what Ace Killer does. He's got a little bit of wear on his tyres. We'll stick with him though. 138. Sorry, it's 140 now. What we're looking for, 146.3 or quicker. Everyone taking that slightly shorter line. See, it just cuts a little bit of that corner off. It's killer 146.8, but it's not. Sorry, it's a 147.1. Not able to close up then. Gecko holding third position. Potter fourth. Mart back in the pits, changing tyres. In fifth. Fat Pickles up into sixth. Brinky seventh on the grid. Ronnie Kaijin eighth. Another McLaren. NBR Frozen in the pits. Have you had a qualifying ban, NBR Frozen? Yes, you did, didn't you? And yeah, I'm Frosty. I think had a telling off. And half points deducted for causing an incident in turn one last week. You naughty boys. Millerman, oh sorry, Mr. Ridders sitting in 10th. Oh, gets a wobble on. Keeps it pointing in the right direction. 148.6 then for Ridders, 10th. Millerman getting turn one all wrong. Looks like he got reset to track there. Millerman, 11th. 148.7 in the Mercedes. IT43 12th, then 149.2, just going a little bit quicker. Yeah, I'm Frosty 13th, also in the Mercedes. 150.8. Yeah, apologies for the glitchy lobbies. Not our fault, I don't think. Philo holding on to that top spot in the Lexus. Leading the championship after last week's opening round. Screwing a little bit off those tyres. His killer throws himself back in the pits as well. Closes the gap up on Philo, so he's just 0.092 behind him now. So he's on a 146.4 at the minute, is Ace Killer. Gecko Racer still third. Oni Kaijin now found a bit of pace into fifth. Pushes Mart in the other McLaren down the field a spot. Everyone else follows suit. Brinky Frozen sitting this one out. Ridders 10th. Millerman 11th. IT43 12th. And yeah, I'm Frosty 13th. So 12 minutes into quali then. 3 minutes remaining. Can anyone upset Philo and take that pole position off him? He's usually the one to come through right at the end of qualifying to take pole position. Let's see if anybody can do it back to him. Again, absolutely no idea if this is the real Philo or the hacked one, the stand-in. Call him the ringer. That's what he is. Could be a ringer. He's killer. Fresh set of tyres on. Just coming up to the end of an hour lap. So last ditch effort really. Gecko holding on to third position. Potter holding on to fourth. Ronnie Kaijin, the only big mover, was in 10th on the grid, now in 5th. In 6th, Fat Pickles. The matte black BMW in 7th. Brinky also in that BMW, same BMW in 8th. Little flash of his hazard then, not sure what that was about. Out then, Frozen Ridders 10th. IT43, nobody moving about really at the minute, everybody's staying exactly where they are. Philo on a hot lap, running out of fuel. Ace Killer on those fresh tyres as well. His last ditch effort. I don't think he'll see a second lap after this one, so he needs to get this one right. heading down here into this final chicane on this circuit. Clean exit out of there for Ace Killer. He's got 25 seconds to get to the line. I think he might just squeeze another lap out here. He's going to be on the button, that's for sure, so he's got 10 seconds. He's going to make it. There he goes then, gets another try. Philo has found another little bit more time though, 1:46.2. Opens that gap up a little bit between himself and Ace Killer in this qualifying session. Again, nobody else really making any moves through the field. Let's just keep an eye on that. No IT43, Millerman, Frosty, all in the same positions. Philo hugging that pit wall on the way through there. Comes across the line then. Finds that tiny little bit more time. Ace Killer then. Still a few drivers out on circuit. Oof, but that could be it. Second position. Gecko Racer still out as well. Potter McPotts has crossed the line, so he's now chilling out, waiting for everyone else to finish. Gecko pushing though on this final lap. I'll have to see who else is. A couple of drivers just coming up to the line. See if any other positions move about. Gecko then coming up to the line to end his qualifying session. Risking it on the AstroTurf. Not too bad in the dry, but if it rains here, it will be tricky. But the weather's looking good, so Gecko holds on to third then, not able to take that position off of Ace Killer or Philo. Potter then rolling about, Oni Kaijin rolling about, Mart, Fat Pickles, Brinky. That's it, I think. Nobody out on a hot lap now. That is your qualifying order then, people. Philo on pole position. Ace Killer in second in the Nissan, Gecko Racer third in the McLaren, Potter fourth in the BMW, Oni Kaijin in another McLaren in fifth, McLaren in sixth for DIA, 3SP Mart, Fat Pickles Bro in another BMW in seventh, Brinky BMW eighth, Never Frozen, what are you driving? I forget. Ridders 10th in the Aston, IT43 in the Renault, Millerman in the Mercedes in 12th, and yeah, I'm Frosty also in a Mercedes in 13th. What are you driving, NVR Frozen? What were you driving last week? It won't let me change camera at the minute. So that's qualifying done. We wait for race one of the evening to get underway. A 15-minute sprint race. Again, going to be fast-paced, I'd have thought. Got to be very careful into turn one. Big penalties coming for anybody that causes incidents. I'm looking at all of you in Pro and Pro-Am. I should mention we have got two lobbies open tonight. We've got the pros you're watching with me, and the Pro-Ams are live over on Facebook with D.Racing or D.90. So he's hosting the, he's commentating over the Pro-Ams. Apparently everyone was waiting for him to put his makeup on earlier, but, you know, whatever you do in your own home. So I think Potter just giving everyone a little bit of a break and setting up the grid. So Philo then on top spot, Ace Killer second, Gecko third, Potter fourth, Oni Kaijin fifth, DIA 3SP Mart in fifth, sixth, Fat Pickles in seventh, Brinky in eighth, Never Frozen ninth, Ridders 10th, DDR IT43 in 11th, Millerman 12th, and yeah, I'm Frosty in 13th. Let's close that up. Get on with this race then. So on the grid, ready to go. See the lights on board with, who are we on board with? Philo. way then. Let's change that up. We're not seeing anything from there, are we? We're on board with Philo then, headed down towards turn 1 again. Going to be tricky, got to be careful we don't cause any incidents. Ace Killer getting a flying start, finds himself around the outside of Philo into first. Everybody getting through there pretty cleanly. DIA3 SP Mart, I think, went a little bit wide. I don't know if there was contact, but loses a bit of time. Philo then all over the back of Ace Killer. Let's turn the nonsense on quickly. Down towards the first chicane there, sorry, second chicane. Ace Killer holds his nerve through there. Philo unable to get through. To go defensive though into Degner 1. Let's get ourselves a bit of this cam, the Whipathon cam. We can move it wherever we want. So on board with race leader currently Ace Killer. He is being harassed by Philo though. You can see that Lexus carrying a little bit more speed. Has to back off though as they come through the final chicane on this circuit. Ace Killer stretching those track limits, gets away with it. Philo then hugs into that slipstream. Ace Killer having to go defensive again into Parabolica. Philo making a run around the outside, but again Ace Killer holds his nerve. Oh, a little bit of sideways action from Philo. He tries to tuck one back up the inside. Ace Killer carries the speed though out of that final turn back onto the start-finish straight. Everyone then snaking across the circuit looking for that toe. Now can Philo get the run on Ace Killer and do the same to him? We have got Ace Killer on the inside. Philo does exactly the same though. Shoves himself up the outside in turn 1, gives him the inside line into turn 2, and away he goes. Philo then into first, Ace Killer second, Potter third, Gecko fourth, Oni Kaijin fifth. Mart with that little tiny mistake early on, 1.7 seconds down in 6th, but has pulled the gap from any kind of attack from behind. It was under a little bit of threat from those drivers right behind him. Ridders in 7th, then 1.5 seconds back. Fat Pickles in 8th, Bricky in 9th, IT43 in 10th. Yeah, and Frosty making a little move through the field into 11th. Miniman 12th, and NBR Frozen now a long way back, 6.3 seconds. Oh, in the Ferrari, that's what you're in, the Ferrari. The only man on the grid. Just keep an eye on Potter McPot and Gecko Racer. Gecko looked like he was going to have a bit of a move on Potter, but backed out at the last minute. Takes a little tight line through there though, chasing down Potter on this back straight. Also making a little move up front, in a tiny bit of time over Ace Killer. On board with Gecko then as he hunts down Potter. Can he now get the toe? Potter's gaining a little bit of time off Ace Killer in front. And he is pulling a little gap between himself and Gecko. Closes up on Ace Killer, pulls a little bit of a gap on Gecko, closes back up under braking. That's a tricky second corner, definitely don't want to run it wide through there. Oni Kaijin just a second back, DIA3 SP Mart just in the background of this shot as well, so not too far back. Top 4 then heading into chicane 2, let's change this view up a little bit. So just 1.6 seconds between the top 4. There's Oni trying to close that gap up. Gets a drift on through there. There's Mart in the background. Top 6 then. Just 4, nearly 5 seconds between them. Ridders now falling back a little bit, but again he's also gaining time on the drivers behind, so he's got 2.4 seconds in front between himself and Mart. He has gained 2 seconds between himself and Brinky. Brinky got the pesky Renault of DDR IT43 right behind him. Runs a tiny bit wide through there. Gets a swap on. Commentator's curse kicks in. And IT43 goes round. Oh, he's got great big weight as well while he waits for other drivers to get back on track. And drops all the way down to the back of the pack. Front end damage, rear end damage. Just catch the opportune moment, unfortunately, for IT43 to see a little bit of spinning around action. So that car will repair itself. It doesn't have to enter the pits, but it will be upsetting him. Fat Pickles slowing down, so I'm not sure why Fat Pickles is running slow. Oh, Fat Pickles has got something wrong. He's also picked up front end damage. Puts himself at the back of the pack then. All kicking off near the midfield and the rear of the pack. Staying as is up front then. Philo leading, Ace Killer second, Potter third, Gecko Racer fourth. Oni Kaijin has done something as DIA 3SP Mart gets himself into fifth, now 3.7 seconds behind the top four. Oni's pushed himself all the way down to 8th position. What has happened? Struggling maybe in the McLaren. So loses that position to Mart, he loses that position to Ridders as well, and Brinky down into 8th then, under pressure from Yeah I'm Frosty, moves up a couple of more positions into 9th. So debut race season for Yeah I'm Frosty. Let's see how he gets on. Oof, drifting the Mercedes. Be careful, mate. Wear your tyres out quicker than everyone else. Be smooth and calm and collected. And don't brake too late. You know. Millerman then 10th, also in the Mercedes. Having a little bit of a lonely race at the minute. 4.8 seconds in front to Yeah I'm Frosty. 6.1 back to NVR Frozen in the Ferrari. He's now got the fully fixed Renault back up to full race pace in his mirrors. 1.1 seconds down. It was rolling in about 7th or 8th. Fat Pickles also coming a cropper. I think final turn into the wall he went, picked up front end damage, but now back up to full race pace as well. As we were. Philo then stretches a little bit of time out, drops the toe of Ace Killer, so now 1.5 seconds up front in that Lexus. Great big fins sticking out the back end of it. Also gets a bit of a drift on through there, he's got to be careful. Ace Killer then in second, not able to hold the pace of Philo. Still keeping that position over Potter McPot and Gecko Racer. Gecko Racer also not been able to make a move past Potter either. DIA 3SP Mart loses a little bit more time to these top four, 5.3 seconds down. Gaining no advantage from the toe or anything like that. Unfortunately, the boys in front are. Brinky then, oh, we've got a swapper in the background. Ridders gets it all wrong. Loses that 6th position, gets himself down to 8th, possibly 9th if Millerman can close the gap, carry more speed down towards this final turn. Mercedes versus Aston then. Mercedes on the inside gets that position. Can Ridders get a move done back up the inside on the exit? He's right behind him. We'll follow this and see whether he can get that 8th position back off of Millerman. Be getting the toe down towards turn 1. Inside line now, easily past Millerman with the aid of that toe down towards turn 1 then. Millerman tries to stick with him around the outside a little bit, but has to back off through there. Ridders then gains that 8th position back. Now 8 seconds, 8.1 seconds behind Brinky. Loses that position back to Oni Kaijin as well. Yeah, Frosty loses another position. We're down into 10th. IT43 to 11th, Never Frozen 12th. Fat Pickles just 2.6 seconds down now in the BMW. Never Frozen in the Ferrari. Struggling a little bit in race 1 here then. 10.5 minutes gone, 4.5 minutes remaining. It is still Philo leading by 1.4 seconds. Ace Killer then coming under more threat from Potter McPot. Gecko Racer fallen off the back of that fight as well. Now Potter McPot also in a good position here to go for a bit of a move. Who's got the power down towards turn 1? Side by side as they go in. Potter's just got the advantage through there. Just closes the door on Ace Killer. Gets into 2nd position then. Now can he hunt down Philo? 2.3 seconds the gap then. Less than 4 minutes remaining. And still got a mirror full of Ace Killer. Gecko Racer just on the tail end of this fight as well. Ace Killer having a little bit of a think. Having a move into the 2nd chicane, backs out of it. Lexus then 2.3 seconds up the road. Philo lost the lead off the line to Ace Killer. Managed to get it back though. Not managed to run away with this one quite yet. 2.3 seconds, 2.4 now. Pot holding 2nd, Ace Killer 3rd, Gecko 4th. Not really been able to pile the pressure on Gecko. What he might do now is closing up on Ace Killer. Ace Killer making a little mistake, I think, through that 3rd chicane. Doesn't make a move into Parabolica, but might think about moving into turn 1 if he can get the run on Ace Killer out of the final corner. Killer holding onto that slipstream of Potter in front. Just keeping himself far enough in front of Gecko to avoid that attack. Holds onto that 3rd for another lap. A little bit slow out of turn 2. Gecko unable to take advantage of that. DIA 3SP Mart in 5th. He gets a little swap on through there as well. 7.2 seconds back. Long remaining. Oni Kaijin then was in 5th, now 6th. 5.7 seconds back from Mart, but he's got a mirror full of Brinky at the minute to worry about. 7th position for Brinks. Piling some pressure on Oni as well as they head down towards this 2nd chicane. Doesn't think about a move into that one. Handed to him then by Oni as he gets a little bit sideways coming out of that 2nd chicane. And again through there. Brinky then being given lots of little opportunities here. Unfortunately, all in the wrong places. Holding that 8th after a little bit of an off-track action out of that final chicane. Managed to get himself back past Millerman, but Millerman's held on to him. 1.2 seconds back at the minute. Yeah, and Frosty hanging on to 10th. Fat Pickles 3.7 seconds behind him, and IT43 back down in 12th. And Never Frozen now 13th. These two having a little race of their own at the back. Couple of laps remaining then. Well, last lap pretty much. Philo has pulled a bit more time now, 4 seconds over Potter McPot. These three have been bumper to bumper like this for a couple of laps now. Potter leading, Ace Killer 3rd, Gecko in 4th. Mark still 5th. Getting comfortably in front of Oni. Should be able to hold on to that one. Just keep it pointing in a straight line. Brinky then still hunting for that 6th position off of Oni. He's lost a bit of time now, 1.2 seconds back. This final lap as well. Oni. Did he keep it? Yes, he did. Ooh, kicking up some gravel there, Oni. Let's get ourselves on board with race leader as he's coming up to the last couple of corners on this circuit through this final chicane then. 4.5 seconds. Stretching his, risking his neck there really across the grass. Loses half a second with that little wobble. It's not. Oh, you've changed it, you bleeders. It's not a 15-minute race. It's 12 laps. So we're kicking off a second though. Potts under threat from Ace Killer and Gecko. Oh, he's holding on to it. He's just hanging on to that inside line. Potter, but Ace Killer trying to run around the outside. Potter closes that door. Got to get a good drive out of that exit of that chicane as well. All 3 drivers doing exactly that. Bumper to bumper then, these 3. Potter again having to go defensive as they head down towards this second chicane. Ace Killer having a little look. Has to back off though, doesn't want to leave the door open for Gecko Racer to have a go either. Still bumper to bumper, these 3. Not even bothered about chasing down Philo anymore. I think they'll just be happy to have a damn good race between the 3 of them. Ace Killer then under pressure from Gecko. Nobody making a move into this final chicane. Although Gecko's not made a move on either of these 2, he's in a prime position to do so. It's going to mean a little mistake from one of them for that to happen though, I think. Just too consistent, these top flight drivers. Everybody slots into position then, looking for the toe. Potter chucks himself over to the racing line. Ace Killer, Gecko follow him over. Close up a little bit with that slipstream, but not enough to make a move into turn 1 this lap. All 3 of them again through there cleanly. Can we even see Philo on circuit now? Nope. Oh, there he is. Oh, sorry, I thought that was a track marker. It wasn't. That was a Philo. He is now 5 seconds ahead of this fighting trio. Battling for second. To go and see what else is happening in the field. Mark then. Oh, we catch him getting a drift on. He just does keep it pointing in the right direction. Brinky in the background has overtaken Oni Kaijin as well in the next McLaren. Gets a bit sideways through there as well. So Brinky up into 6th then. Oni Kaijin 7th. Ridders in 8th. Pulls more time over Millerman. Millerman 9th. Yeah, I'm Frosty in 10th. He's now got 10.5 seconds over Never Frozen. He's got himself past IT43 and Fat Pickles Bro. So what's happened to Fat Pickles Bro? You've been in the wall again. A long way back, 14.5 seconds. A couple of slowish laps there, 2:02 and a 2:04 on lap 8 and 9. So possible damage there for Fat Pickles. So now onto the final lap. Lap 12, Philo leads by 5.9 seconds. absolutely kicking off here for second then into this final lap. Potter and Ace Killer. Oh, Gecko thought about trying to slot through there as well, but couldn't make it. Oh, Potter goes deep into turn 1, deep into turn 2 as well, brings those other drivers closer to him. Now puts all sorts of pressure on himself. Let's get on with the Gecko racer. Yeah, we've got wobbly lobbies. Potter's looking pretty stable at the minute. Ace Killer having another look around the outside for that second position, but he's got to be careful again. Oof. Gecko racer just in the prime position to sneak past either of these two. Wobblies, that's what they're called, they're not called lobbies. Potter, oof. His Killer goes a bit deep, that allows Potter to stretch his legs up front a little bit. Trio spreading out then as they come into these final couple of corners. Let's get ourselves back on race leader. Oh, flick past the camera I wanted. Philo then coming up to this final corner. Run into the line on fuel. 6.5 second lead. Again, lost the lead off the line, took pole position, but then lost the lead off the line to Ace Killer in the Nissan. Managed to take that position back and just pull a little bit of time, slowly but surely. Potter McPot then is going to take a second place. Ace Killer takes third. Gecko Racer fourth. DIA3SP Mart has made a mistake somewhere, so fallen a long way back and put himself under pressure from Brinky. Doesn't look like he's going to hold on to fifth, and does so. Brinky 6th, Oni Kaijin again 7th. Under pressure from Ridders as they come down towards the line, but again Oni's going to hold on to that. 7th position for him, then Ridders takes 8th. Millerman is going to come home for 9th. Yeah, I'm Frosty 10th. 9043 in 11th. NVR Frozen pretty close behind him. That's a mistake into this final corner. Oof. I was expecting it from, well, I wasn't expecting it from IT43. I was talking about IT43, but then Never Frozen decided to test the drift capabilities of the Nissan. IT43 11th and NVR Frozen in 12th and Fat Pickles 13th. Race 1 done. Second race to go. So reverse grid. Look at the livery on the back of possibly real Philo's race overalls. Look at it. Race 1 then done. But there was a bit of a sweat on between Potter, Gecko and Ace Killer, that's for sure. I mean, Philo was involved in that for a fair chunk of time as well, but once he pulled a little bit of a gap, it was just left to 2nd, 3rd and 4th to battle it out. Right, what am I looking for? I am looking for... Oh no, chaos in Pro-Ams. The lobby's shut. That's the only problem with PS5 GT7 lobbies, is they're not as stable as they used to be. They've done an update and ruined it. The donuts. So race 2, let's have a little chat about that. So it's a reverse grid, 23 laps. We do start with 70% of fuel. The time and day, what do we got? Sunset. I don't know what all those numbers mean. So they've got to use racing softs and racing mediums for race 2. They can have as many sets as they like, but they have to use softs and mediums. Let's have a look. So that's pretty much it. Again, reverse grid as of results from race 1. Let's see. Oh, okay, 10-minute break. Let me drink some coffee as well. It's probably cold by now. Just above room temperature, just by a blim. Okay, so yeah, 10-minute break and then a couple of minutes while, unfortunately, the way GT7's set up as well, I'm not sure if it's a glitch or an actual thing, but in between every race and every qualifying session and stuff, I think, because I don't actually race, if you've got any kind of tune on your car, the second you reset the lobby, it resets all your cars. So you have to join the race again and then go into and retune your car to the setup you had before. It's I mean, you know, most of these guys have got their setups dialed, they, you know, sort of screenshot or whatever their setup, so they can just quickly jam it in. It's not a case of sticking a few laps in. They've been doing that week in, week out for a fair while now. Testing and trying out different setups and different cars, and some cars obviously not allowed. We do try and use cars that are in the actual GT3 champs. I think we only use real world tracks as well, I believe, all for every race. Yeah, good bit of racing there between Potter, Ace Killer and Gecko. Again, yeah, like I said at the start, it is a tricky circuit, fast with these chicanes. You've got to know exactly where your braking points are, and again, if you're under any kind of pressure or your tyres are done or half done, you can just forget that you need to brake a teensy-tiny little bit earlier. Maybe not stamp on the throttle when you come out of the corner. You have to just, you know, feather it on a little bit. And in the heat at the moment, when the old red mist sits in, well, anything's possible. I've seen a few drivers into the wall already tonight. Let's hope race 2 is a little bit better. For them, obviously, you know, I want them to have a good race, but for you all lot, for you know, for you viewers, I know what it's like. I go watch racing. I know what it's like. I love watching a crash or two. Everyone's head turns when there's a car firing itself off circuit. Spectator sport. Maybe we should have that one season at the end of the season. Could have some 10-pin bowling or something with cars. See how many you can shift out the way. So most drivers are just sitting it out in the pits at the minute while the lobby sets the host sets the lobby up and these boys set their tunes back up. Still a few bugs to iron out in the GT7 lobbies. Again, just the glitching when they're going around corners is not pretty at all, is it? throws himself in the pits. Gecko stays out. You see how they just wobble a little bit as they go around a corner? Wibble, wobble, just shakes the camera that tiny bit. The camera tries to lock onto the centre of the car, and obviously with a tiny bit of glitching like that, it just gives it a wibble. It's only on corners though. Unfortunately, from my perspective, I see it pretty much on every driver, but according to the actual drivers, some people do it, some people don't. There's no hard or fast rules as to why some people do and some people don't. Initially, we thought it was the sort of cross-play between PS4 and PS5 drivers, but that's been ruled out because I think we've had lobbies full of just PS5 drivers as a test, and the same thing happens. So it could be a connection thing, it could be a lobby thing. I'm hardwired in, I'm running sort of super fast internet because I stream my lad games pretty much 24/7, so Missus is always streaming something, so go for a nice strong hardwired connection. Boom, across the line for Gecko. Couple of minutes left then till we start race 2. A couple of drivers out on track now, just getting a few more practice laps in, probably on a different tyre. Let's have a look. Yeah, so out on the mediums for Brinky, everyone using the soft in race 1. Obviously the fastest tyre will last a full 15 minutes. Brinky getting a lap or 2 in on those mediums then. Gecko also on the mediums. Hygiene. Trying to figure out what went wrong in race 1, really. Ended up 6, just. Millerman testing the mediums, so yeah, I'm Frosty. Potter gone for the softs in stint 1. Ace Killer is testing the mediums. 1943 is on the softs. Gecko mediums. NVR frozen. Softs on for now. It might change when he comes out the pits. Same for... oh no. So yeah, NVR frozen on the softs. Ridders on the softs. And Philo on the mediums. If it wasn't for the wobbliness, this game would look pretty damn good. But it's got wobbliness. BMW, quite a popular car this season. Kaijin then, coming from the Nexus virtual racing leagues, I believe, over there in the States. I think some of these drivers, I believe it was possibly Gecko, Philo, might have been Potter, Ace Killer and Mart, I think, all raced in that league. Could be wrong on those names, but it was most of those, if not all. Raced against the Americans. I think that was Sunday nights as well, racing against the Americans. Honey going quickest in this mid-practice session then. Lighting up the brakes on the way into there though. Again, cars wobbling all over the place. Hard onto the brakes into the second chicane. Middleman just comes out of the third chicane. 1 minute to go then. Lobby host just announcing it in the chat. lightning bolts all over Yeah I'm Frosty. Again, debut race season for Yeah I'm Frosty. Didn't have the best of weeks last week in the endurance. Managed to blow his tyres out quite early on. Done better this week though. Race 2 and come in 10th position, so managed to get up a couple of positions off the grid from his grid position. The great big Mercedes of Millerman. Yeah I'm Frosty in the other Mercedes. He's going camera shy. Oh no, he's not. He's got no choice now. He was trying to find a blind spot on the cameras and hide away, but he's not. Oof, does sound good though, the Ferrari, doesn't it? There you go. Race starting then. Let's get ourselves... Are you going to give me trackside? Yes, you are. Flipping net game. Something you've done right. Let's get ourselves on board with pole sitter for race 2. Fat Pickles Bro. Again, reverse grid from race 1. Lights on then. Wait for them to drop and we get underway with this second race tonight. 23 laps here at Monza. Ooh, not a great start from the Renault. Great start from NVR Frozen though, pulls away, gets himself up front, heading down towards turn 1. Can they get through here cleanly for a second time tonight? Yeah, I'm Frosty, thought about a move up the inside, but didn't make it work. Fat Pickles then 3rd, IT43 4th, Millerman 5th, Oni Kaijin 6th, Ridders 7th, Mart in 8th, Gecko 9th. Brinky 10th, Potter McPot around the outside in 11th, BMW versus BMW. Philo in the mix there as well. Have they got through the second chicane cleanly? Just about, I think. Ace Killer a long way back, no damage, but 1.8 seconds down. Philo as well, fallen off the back, so those two had a little bit of a coming together. Oof. A little bit of a coming together into the second of the chicanes. There's that screaming Ferrari up front then. 0.6 of a second lead over Yeah I'm Frosty, holding second. Fat Pickles in 3rd. Wobble there for Yeah I'm Frosty, but he holds on to it. Is he closing the gap up on Yeah I'm Frozen? No, actually lost a bit of time. It was 0.5, it's now 0.7. So just needs to keep his head. Yeah I'm Frosty again, debut race season. Don't get the sweats on. You worry about your own race. Fat Pickles in 3rd then, falling a little further back. Great big pile of drivers in the midfield pack. Millerman in 4th, in a safe zone at the minute. Now it could be anyone's into turn 1 here. Oni Kaijin leading the way. Mart having a look up the inside into turn 1. Backs out. Gets a little tap from Gecko on the way through there, does Mart, but he just holds on to 6. Gecko's going to have a look around the outside. There's the nose. Mart with that inside line. Can't quite see him. There he is in the mirrors. Has to back off. Mart carrying a little bit more speed, slightly tighter line. Whoa! Ridders having a look up the inside of Gecko Racer into chicane 2 as well. Oh, Oni Kaijin getting a poor exit through there. Mart sweeps through into 5th then. Great time to come on board with Mart as we're in the thick of it right now. Oni Kaijin Gets a big lick of flame off the McLaren in front of him on bonnet across his McLaren. Martin firing it through the gears on the way down. Into a little bit on the grass there. He's got to be careful. String of drivers heading up to his third and final chicane on this circuit. Ridders gets a wobble on through there. He's going to have to be careful as well. So let's go back through the field. Where is everyone now? NVR frozen in that screaming Ferrari. 1.4 seconds in front. Yeah, I'm Frosty trying to hang on to him. He's lost the toe now, but he has kept a bit of time in between himself and Fat Pickles. So 2.5 seconds that gap has grown to. He is on the medium tyre as well, which is the slower out of the two, obviously. Fat Pickles third, then Millerman closing up on him. Mercedes versus BMW there, and then in the background we've got DIA 3SP Mart, Oni Kaijin. Oh, Oni Kaijin gets turn one a little bit wrong. He might lose his position to Gecko here. Let's have a look. Has a little sweep around the outside. Is it going to be enough for Gecko? He has to drop himself back into the slipstream. Is he going to go for a slingshot right at the very end? He does. There's a look up the inside. Oh, tough between these two. Side by side through there. Oh, tiny bit of door banging, and I think clean enough. Gecko gets through into sixth. Well driven, boys. Getting through there too wide is no easy feat. Unfortunately, Oni Kaijin loses out on that one. Ends up seventh. Potter McPot behind him now in eighth. These boys all coming from the back of the field in race two. Ace Killer in ninth. Fighting their way through the field. Ridders in 10th, Ricky in 11th, Philo into 12th, and DDR IT43 in 13th. MVR frozen then on that soft tyre, finding a little bit more time over Yeah, I'm Frosty. Judas, no Bible, no way is that Yeah, I'm Frosty. Way, that is Yeah, I'm Frosty. He's not doing too bad a job, just 2.4 seconds behind race leader. NVR Frozen, who is race leader on this soft tyre, which is the faster compound. Yeah, I'm Frosty on that medium compound, which is the slower tyre, but he's holding his own at the minute. Keeping himself ahead of Fat Pickles, who now has got a mirror full of DIA 3SP Mart to contend with. He's now pulled a little bit of time between himself and that battle between Oni and Gecko. He'll be getting a bit of a toe off of Fat Pickles down here as well, so he'll close the gap up down towards the second chicane. Frosty Jesus. McLaren versus BMW then. Let's get a little bit of onboard action. Fat Pickles leaving plenty of room for Mark to have a little look at the inside through Degner 1. Mark didn't take advantage down towards Degner 2 then. Needs to get past Fat Pickles if he's going to make any move. He's got Gecko closing up, Potter McPot, Ace Killer and Philo now in the background of that fight. Millerman, I think, staying out of the way. Mark had a little look on Fat Pickles, but a tiny bit far back. Fat Pickles gets the chicane wrong though. Who can get the better run on the exit? Fat Pickles, unfortunately, and that puts Martin under pressure from Gecko Racer now. Gives him a little nudge up the road to close that gap up on Fat Pickles. Not going to be enough into this final turn though. Parabolica. But can he get a run down the start finish straight on him? Well within the slipstream range, 0.3 of a second. Here we go, closing up then. Mart sweeps himself around the outside. Is Gecko going to follow? Carrying plenty of space. Fat Pickles then goes a little bit defensive on the run down. Oh, side by side on the run in. Perfect bit of braking between all three drivers. Oh, NVR Frozen's got it all wrong. Oh, he's got it all wrong. He's in the gravel. not sure if there was a tiny bit of contact as he was coming back on circuit. Unfortunately, that's not the place to be getting it wrong. And that puts Frosty Jesus in the lead of this race. Whoever's with him, tell him to chill out, because he'll be flapping. He'll have all sorts of sweats on. He'll know Martin's behind him, and he'll be flapping. Tell him to chill out. He'll be good. Just keep doing what he's doing. That's flapping. Stop flapping. Don't drive off circuit. That's flapping. Stop it. I'll take the camera off you now. Mart then into second position. Gecko Racer not out of that fight yet, though. He is closing up a little bit. Less than a second behind him. And then TOR Potomac Pot Fat Pickles in fifth. So he has another couple of positions taken off him. TOR, Ace Killer and Philo not far behind either. MVR Frozen back on circuit. Unfortunately, from first to 8th. Brinky 9th. Oh, what? Brinky! Brinky! Brinky's dead. Brinky's dead. Being abducted by aliens or something, and now he drives. Oh no, he's not. He's broken. Oh, he's very broken. I hope other drivers are not seeing that. That'd be very off-putting. Oni Kaijin under threat here for 10th. Ridder's having a little look at the inside, gets a wobble. Oh, shit. Who knows? Who knows what Brinky's actually doing right now? Anybody? Answers on a postcard. Brinky's lost his noodles. It's not him. It's the lobbies. This is how weak they are. So yeah, I'm Frosty. Lap 6 out of 23. He doesn't like those Degners. They catch him out every time. He's going to lose time to those drivers behind. Just needs to keep his head. 2.4, 2.3 seconds now with that little mistake. Now, Potomac Pot getting himself past Gecko Racer into third. Aston of Geckos maybe not suited to this circuit. Philo got himself past Ace Killer as well into 5th. Ace Killer then 6th. Both drivers past Fat Pickles now. Fat Pickles in 7th. NVR Frozen trying to claim something back. Was leading this race. Got it all wrong through the first chicane. He's now 8th position. Brinky, well, Brinky looks like he's taking his Adderall or something. Looks relatively calm right now. Closing up on NVR Frozen as well. There's no actual time between... Oh yes, there is. It's popped up now. 1.4 seconds. Can he close that gap back up? Oni Kaijin then in 10th. Under pressure from IT43 now. Ridders gets it wrong somewhere. 9.7 seconds down now in 12th. Millerman a long way back as well. 4.2 seconds behind Ridders. I'm Frosty still leading, but gaps coming down. Just a second between himself and Mart. Unfortunately, this is where the flap will set in. You'll see that those cars getting faster. You'll see that time coming down. I can't really... Oh, he's got it all wrong. He has got it all wrong. Goes wide. There's that Degner too. Again, it's caught him out. He really doesn't like that corner. Mart also now under threat for second position. Potter, is he having a look up the inside into this third chicane? Backs off. Potter holds, Mart holds second, Potter third. Gecko still hanging on to the tail end of Potter as well. Philo and Ace Killer all closing up. Pickles 2.3 seconds down in 7th. NVR Frozen is pulling that time down a little bit, dragging the crazy lunatic Brinky with him. Oni Kaijin in 10th. IT43 was having a wiggle across the track then. I'm not sure what happened. Whether he was the next victim of the Brinky syndrome, I don't know. Sitting in 11th. Ridders then 12th. Millerman closing up a little bit, brings that gap down by about 0.3 of a second. I think Millerman came in the pits early on. Yeah, looks like he came in on lap 4. I'm not sure what he was playing at, but it's all changed up the front. Potter McPott gets himself into second. Yeah, I'm into first. Apologies. Yeah, I'm Frosty now second. Right in the thick of it. Gecko Racer third. Philo fourth. What's happened to Mart? Dropped down to 5th position, so he's got it wrong somewhere. Ace Killer now piling the pressure on him as well, holding 6th. Let's see what's happening up front then. Potter McPott then 0.5 of a second over. Yeah, I'm Frosty. Yeah, I'm Frosty trying to take a wide line, but running that Mercedes into the grass, almost running himself off circuit. Still good exit out of there, but Gecko all over the back of him as they head up towards Parabolica. Goes for the fake. He's got his nose up the inside of Yeah, I'm Frosty as they come into this final corner and gets up the inside. Side by side, and there you go. Yeah, Frosty drops another position. Oh, he's coming into the pits, I think. He is. Okay, so that drops him out of the race then for the time being. Potter McPott then leads. Gecko Race at second, 1 second behind. Philo now into 3rd position, 0.5 of a second back. Ace Killer and DIA 3SP Mart having a battle for 4th. Ace Killer wins out on the run down the start-finish straight. Gets a wiggle on the exit of that though. Mart not close enough just yet to make a move back. Fat Pickles to 1.8 seconds back. So I think that little battle between Ace Killer and Mart allowed him to close back up. Starting to get a little bit misty here at Monza. Don't think we're going to see any rain. Brinky. Tablet's now working in 7th position. Is it 5.7 behind Fat Pickles? His tablet stay working. We'll see if he can catch up. Oni Kaijin then 15.5 seconds down. He's got Ridders right up his rear end for 9th. Millerman as well closing up on that fight. IT43 just 3.1 seconds down in 11th. Yeah, I'm Frosty out the pits on a fresh set of racing softs. So it was on the mediums. Let's see what sort of times he can put in on the soft tyre. What's his fastest? 1:49.4. Should be able to beat that. NBR frozen in the pits, now comes out with the mediums on, had the softs on for stint 1. So Potter and Gecko hit the pits, as does Ace Killer. Philo stays out. He's got a lap or 2 left in that Lexus. So takes race lead. Mart stays out as well. He's almost out of fuel. He better have got that right. Pickles stays out. Brinky stays out. Ridders stays out. Millerman, who has been in, definitely has picked up fuel in 6th now. Potter McPott released from the pits into, IT43's got through into 7th as well. Not stopped yet for IT43. Potter McPott in 7th. Gecko 8th. Yeah, Potter 8th, Gecko 9th. Why am I getting my numbers and my words wrong tonight? What's happening? Oh, brain. Yeah, I'm Frosty in 10th then. Ace Killer out the pits as well this lap in 11th, so 1.1 seconds behind. Yeah, I'm Frosty coming right out in the thick of it again. NBR frozen in 12th. Oni Kaijin now stopped. He's out on a fresh set of racing softs for this second stint. So has Mart got enough fuel on? He's coming up this long back straight. It's going to be to the absolute wire for him. Just gets followed in by Fat Pickles as well. Philo in the pits this lap too. So where will everyone else come out? Ridder's then coming through. He's probably going to have to stop. Millerman can stay out. He may opt to come in for a fresh set of tyres. I don't know. He doesn't. Millerman take another win. Should screenshot that where it just says Millerman up front. Leading the race then 3.7 seconds. Again stopped early did Millerman. Took on a big blob of fuel. Why he's got 4 pits against his name, I don't know. Philo then out into second position, 4.1 seconds down. Fresh set of softs to play with. Full tank of gas on board. Potomac Pot, same setup, fresh softs, full tank. Gecko, full tank, fresh softs. IT43 yet to stop in 5th. Ace Killer, softs and a full tank. Yeah, I'm Frosty on the softs. Yeah, he's had a full tank, but he stopped a few laps previously. Fat Pickles stop now, full tank, fresh set of softs. Mart, same thing, softs, full tank. Brinky, softs, full tank. NBR frozen mediums, and I believe he took on a full tank when he came in. Ridder's softs at full tank, and Oni Kaijin softs and full tank. Millerman still leading then. Wolfpack Racing. When will he decide to pit? He's still got plenty of life left in his softs. He's losing a little bit of time to Philo behind him, but he's got a few laps of fuel on board. See where he ends up. Again, that time between himself and Philo is coming down quite rapidly. It's below 3 seconds now. Potomac Pot 1.5 seconds behind Philo in third again. Why? Numbers, letters work. Gecko in 4th. 1.5 seconds back himself. Ace Killer in 5th. He's got himself past, I'm Frosty. Yeah, I'm Frosty in 6th. Fat Pickles 7th. DIA 3SP Mark not got past him yet. Hot on his heels as they come out of turn 1. Slots his way up the inside now. Fat Pickles will have the inside line if he can carry the speed around the outside, but I think he's just allowed Mart through. Into 7th then for Mart. Fat Pickles in 8th. Again, I think he just knew Mart was quicker. No point battling if you're not going to win that fight. Brinky then 9th. Someone has taken out those bollards. Many of them. NVR frozen, gets a drift on through there. Sitting in 10th position, Oni Kaijin. Still got a mirror full of Ridders at the minute for 11th and 12th. Oof. It's another little bit of a swap on through there, Oni. IT43 then, fresh sets of mediums on. He does take his pit stop. Leads for a second lap here then at Monza. Not taking a tight line across that pit wall shortcut. And that is definitely working the gap down to 1.8 seconds between Millerman and Philo. Potter has also closed that gap up on Philo. He's now 1.1 seconds behind. That was 1.5. Gecko, unfortunately, in fourth, hasn't managed to do that. Still 1.6 seconds between himself and Potter. And running out of fuel quite rapidly, Millerman may decide to come in at the end of this lap. Killer, fair chunk back, 3.4 seconds from the top four. Judas No Bible, Mart will 100% come first or second. We'll see. We will see. So he's still kept that sixth position ahead of Fat Pickles. Not let him get away though, Fat Pickles. Still just a second between these two, less than. One way behind Ace Killer, 6.2 seconds. Whether he can close that gap up is yet to be seen. Brinky 8th, and yeah, I'm Frosty in 9th. NBR Frozen 10th. Kaijin in 11th, still got Ridders in 12th for company. IT43, 13.5 seconds back. Stop late, IT43, the Renault obviously not using as much fuel here at Monza. Okay, yeah, so Millerman has pit at the end of that lap. Does release Philo into the lead of this race. 0.7 seconds he now has over Potter McPot. A little mistake from Potter, I think, because that's allowed Gecko to close back up on him. Ace Killer, that time is coming down as well. That was 5 seconds. It's now 3.5. What was I thinking about the gap between Mart and Ace Killer? I'm not too sure. Usual suspects up front now then. Philo, Potter, Gecko, Ace Killer, Mart. Still just hanging on in there, Fat Pickles bro, onto the back end of Mart. He has lost another just over about a second, 1.6 seconds the gap between these two. So out of slipstream range now. Just got to be careful he doesn't fall back into the clutches of Brinky behind him. Yeah, I'm Frozen, holding 8th, 2.5 seconds behind Brinks. Screaming Ferrari of NBR Frozen in 9th, 4 seconds behind Frosty. That medium tyre will be running a little bit slower, but the wear starting to show on the softs now. Millerman back out the pits in 10th. Now starts to take that little shortcut, 10 seconds behind NBR Frozen. Set of racing softs on board. Let's see if he can do anything with those. Ridders then gets himself past Oni Kaijin. It's another mistake by Oni. 9.8 seconds down from that battle between himself and Ridders now. Not having the best night of it so far, Oni. IT43 then in that Renault, 13th, so now 6.7 seconds behind Oni with that little mistake from him. Philo is starting to find his feet here in race 2 as well. 2.8 seconds up the road from Potter McPot. Potter McPot got a mirror that's starting to get a little bit greener as Gecko Racer slowly but surely closes up on him. 4.1 seconds down. Loses about half a second to those two drivers in front. Mart as well loses a couple of tenths to Ace Killer. He has pulled a great big chunk of time over Fat Pickles now. 2.6 seconds gap between these two. Across the line for Brinky to start lap 16. Frosty follows him through. And we are frozen then. Looks like he's bringing that time down between himself and Frosty a little bit. Keep an eye on that, see whether he can bring that one down. Yes, he is. A couple of tenths through there. Millerman then with that fresh set of tyres on keeps himself well in front of Ridders. 4 seconds between these two. Again, Ridders was having a good battle with Oni Kaijin, but things like that keep happening, I think. Finding more time than Philo. Ban him, that's what I say. Ban him and the Lexus. Then oof, Gecko runs very wide through final corner. There's the gap between third and fourth. Can't see it anymore. There it is. Killer fourth, finds a couple of tenths on that battle in front, pulls a little bit more time over Mart here. Mart 7.8 seconds down. Keeps himself out of any danger from an attack from Fat Pickles for the time being. 2.9 seconds down now, Fat Pickles. Gaps starting to develop. The top four still pretty close though. Millerman and yeah, Frosty not too far apart either. Ridder's only 3 seconds behind. Sorry, Millerman as well. There is Ridder's. There is Millerman just in front of him. Almost half a second just on that little section, turns 1, 2 and 3. Kaijin trying to recover this race, 12th at the minute. Same for IT43, so we pulled a bit more time on Oni, but that stretched back up to 11.1 seconds. Okay, so Philo still leading, but that time is coming down. It was 2.7, it's dropped to 2.4, and you just see 2.3 on the timer. Potter still holding that second position from Gecko. Ace Killer still not able to close that gap up, unfortunately. Same for Mart here. He's lost about another second to Ace Killer. 8.4 seconds down now. Lap 18 of 23. Top four then. Philo, Potter, Gecko and Ace Killer all in shot there. These two bumper to bumper. Backing off into these corners, they're not having a lunge at Potter through that chicane. He doesn't want to crash into the back end of Potter either, ruin both their races. He's Killer just in the background by 4 seconds. Not sure why the camera decided to do that. Let's change that up a little bit. So loses a bit of time to chase with Potter then. Again, got to be careful he doesn't fall out of that slipstream range. Closes up a tiny bit in the braking zone of turn 1. Both drivers running a little bit wide through there. That gap is definitely coming down. 1.7 seconds between first and second. Potter still got a mirror full of Gecko though. Ace Killer loses a couple of tenths this lap, as does Mart. Still keeps himself way ahead of Fat Pickles. That gap now to 5 seconds. Brinky in 7th. Started. Oof, the old Frozen gets a wobble on. Sitting in 8th, 13 seconds down. Yeah, gap starting to develop. Oof. Say that as Millerman gets himself into 9th. Yeah, and Frosty gets a drift on as he tries to defend that position. Ridder's also on the back end of I'm Frosty here. Pushing then Ridders. 2 Mercedes. Oh yeah, Frosty goes deep through there. He's picked up the gravel. That's made him run slow on the exit on the Ascari. It's going to give Ridders a run. A great big wide Mercedes though gives him no room. Runs around the outside, side by side. Yeah, I'm Frosty holds his nerve through there. Oh, gets a swap on though, Ridders. Loses a bit of time to I'm Frosty. Yeah, difficult to get past that big wide Mercedes. Just got to put that car in the right place. Oni Kaijin then in 12th. Lonely race for him at the minute, as it is for IT43. Philo managed to claim that time back up to 2.4 seconds then in the Lexus. Potter McPot still being hounded by Gecko Racer, 2nd and 3rd for those two. Pulled a little bit more time over Ace Killer, now 5.2 seconds down. We are into lap 20, not far off lap 21 of this 23 lap race. When will we see Gecko have a look at Potter McPot? A couple of laps remaining. Looks like it might be this lap. Side by side as they run up towards Parabolica. Potter's still got the advantage as they run through here though. Gecko Racer carrying a fair bit of speed through there. Potter will end up back in front. Now, will we see a move here from Gecko? He's already up the left-hand side of Potter. Switches side, had a little look up the inside. Oh. Potter though knows, although he didn't have the advantage into the first part of that corner, that keeps him on the inside for the second part of that corner, which is really where you're going to lose it, so he does hold on to it. But now again, Gecko having a look, running down towards this second chicane. Potter on the inside, he just needs to hold his nerve as they run down here. He should hold on to it again. Tiny bit of contact between the two. Both drivers running slow through there. That's going to allow Philo to escape a little bit. It does break up this battle. Gecko pushing then, trying to close back up on Potter, and that does give Philo a great big chunk of breathing room here. time almost up to 4 seconds. And the battle between Potter and Gecko will have brought Ace Killer closer. That gap down from 5 seconds to 3. Still not quite within striking distance yet for Ace Killer. We have only got 2 laps remaining. Mart losing a bit more time as well in 5th, 12.5 seconds down. Fat Pickles 5 seconds down himself. Brinky closing the gap, 2.7 in 7th then. BMW versus BMW for 6th and 7th. Risking it there, Brinky. Very tight line through the chicane. Gets away without a penalty though. Gets a couple of tenths on Fat Pickles from 2.7 down to 2.5. Millerman with those fresher tyres, in 8th. Keeps himself way ahead of Ridders in 9th. We've got I'm Frosty and Oni Kaijin side by side again on the Ascari straight. I'm Frosty holds onto it for another lap. 10th position, Oni Kaijin then in 11th. MBR Frozen 3.5 seconds back in 12th. And IT43 14 seconds down in 13th. Then nobody able to catch him. 3.8 seconds now the gap. These two still having a battle as well. Lap 22 of 23. Gecko not in a position to make a move. Where must be playing its part. Everybody running low on fuel as well, but they should have enough to make another lap. Philo then onto this start-finish straight, crosses the line to start this final lap. McPot under a bit of pressure from Gecko, and I think he's quite close enough to make a move into turn 1 on this lap. Well, this is the last lap for turn 1, so he's missed the opportunity for an overtake here. Where will he make his move? If he does, Gecko 3rd, then Ace Killer 4th. Mart in 5th, Fat Pickles 6th, Brinky 7th. Millerman 8th, Ridders 9th, Oni Kaijin 10th. I'm Frosty in 11th, so Oni Kaijin did finally make a move on I'm Frosty, gets that position off him. I'm Frosty 11th, then MBR Frozen 12th, 2.5 seconds back, so I'm Frosty just got to be a little bit careful for this last lap. And then IT43 a long way down, might just have to settle for 13th this week. Then onto the Ascari straight. Still holding 3.7 seconds from that little battle kicking off behind. Potter still holding that lead over Gecko. Into that final chicane then, Gecko needs a good run up this back straight to have any opportunity on Potter. Potter hooks that right hand side. He's not going to make it easy for Gecko if he wants it. We will stick with race leader Philo though. Takes race 1 win and a race 2 win here, does Philo. There it is, now the battle between these two, and it is going to be Potter that takes it. Just Gecko Racer had a little look just as they came up to the line, but takes 3rd. Ace Killer comes home for 4th. DIA 3SP Mart, he's got something wrong somewhere, or had to do a little bit of fuel saving maybe, but he's had that gap decimated by Fat Pickles and Brinky. He is going to take 5th. Fat Pickles takes 6th. Brinky takes 7th. Millerman is going to come home in 8th. or any kind of disaster. Take 8. Ridders comes through this final corner. He's going to come home for 9th. Everybody running it to the wire on fuel. Yeah, I'm Frosty takes 10th. No, what's happened to Oni Kaijin? And VR Frozen takes 11th. Oni Kaijin's ran out of fuel, I think. Yes, he has. Oh, what a shame. IT43 hasn't run out of fuel, but could take this position off of Oni Kaijin, but he's nudging him around the circuit. Giving him a shunt down the track. He's going to allow Oni Kaijin to keep this 12th, I think. And rolls across the line like an electric car. Okay, IT43 did take it then. I think Oni Kaijin was just sticking the brakes on there to let IT43 take that 12th. Fair play. There it is. Twice you've had to see that dodgy livery on the back of Philo's race overalls. Who'd have thunk it? So there are confirmed final positions for race 2. Philo takes the win again. Potter takes 2nd. Gecko 3rd. Ace Killer 4th. DIA 3SP Mart 5th. Fat Pickles in 4th. Brinky... why 4th? Why? Why is the brain not working today? Fat Pickles in 6th. Why? There's not even a 4 anywhere near that. Brinky in 7th. Millerman in 8th. Stop it. Ridders 9th, yeah, I'm Frosty 10th, NVR Frozen in 11th, IT43 in 12th, and Oni Kaijin giving him that position, so he takes 13th. There we are, done and dusted. Yeah, it was longer than expected, but, you know, it is what it is. So that is round 2, done and dusted here at Monza. Back again at the same time, same place next week. I am actually, no problem, Potter, I am actually back on Friday night at 9 o'clock for the for the GT3, so that's a GT4 class, slightly less power, slightly less aero than these, same cars, not all of them obviously, but some of them. You'll be watching the Fusion lobby, which is pretty much the elites of the GT3. There's about 7 lobbies open, all different, varying in divisions and skill level. And the Fusion being the elites. So yeah, come and check that out at 9 o'clock. And again, same time, same place next week for round 3 of the Team Oliver Racing GT3 League. Been calling it GR3 for so long. But yeah, that's going to be about it from me. I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.